Hello everyone. So in previous session we saw what is VPC. We made two subnets, public and private, and we accessed internet through public subnet yesterday. So in today's session we are going to discover how to access internet through a private subnet. So as you can see, whenever any instance is created in a public subnet, it has a direct route to the internet gateway, right? And through this internet gateway you can access the internet. But whereas for private subnets you don't have a direct route for uh, accessing the internet, so then we have to use NAT. Okay, so with the help of NAT, then you can have a direct route to the internet gateway, and then you can access the internet. So the full form of NAT is network address translation. It is going to translate your private IP to public IP, and in that way you will be able to access the internet. So let's get to the practical side of this video. So we begin by going to VPC, and we'll be doing the same process what we did previously. So we'll create a VPC only. Can name it anything, my VPC 10.0.0.0/16 we are going to take. Then as it is, create VPC. After you've done that, we'll go to subnets. We'll create subnet. We'll take the VPC which we created. We're going to create two subnets. One is public and another is private. So AZ1 10.0.1.0/24, and add another subnet which is your private subnet. Availability zone 2 10.0.2.0/24, and you're good to go. Once your subnets are created, we are going to go to internet gateways. We're going to create an internet gateway, IGW. Okay, create internet gateway. Then you say attach to VPC. Which VPC? The one we created recently. Attach internet gateway. That's it. Once you're done with this process, you're going to go to the route tables. Now, you're going to say create route table, and we are going to create a public route table. So write public RT, select the VPC which we created, and create route table. Once you've done that, go to edit routes, edit route, anywhere, go to internet gateway, select this and save changes. Go to subnet associations, edit subnet associations, click public because we did for public subnet, save associations. Okay. Now, after this, you're going to go to NAT gateways. Over there, you're going to say create NAT gateway. Going to give any name, let's say NAT, go for zonal one, select a subnet. Here we are going to select the public one because we just created that. Keep it public, okay? Here you can say allocate elastic IP and then create NAT gateway. Once you're done that, let's go to an instance. Create an instance from EC2, launch instance, okay? You can name it anything. Let's say public instance, and let it be Linux, T3 micro, key pair, select any key pair, go to network settings, edit, go to VPC, the one we created, select that. Okay, here it is private, we need public. You're going to enable auto assign, right? After that, SSH, add security group, we'll take HTTP. You'll say source type anywhere, all right, and launch your instance. Once you're done with that, we'll go to VPC. And in VPC, you will go to the route tables. Okay, once you're done with that, create a route table. Now we're going to make a route table for the private one. So private RT, select the VPC which we created and create route table. Well, once you do that, edit routes, add route anywhere. Now for this, for private, we know we have to use NAT gateway because there is no direct route to access the internet. After that, go to this, select this NAT, save changes. Once you do that, go to associations, edit subnet. Okay, select private because we're just done with making the private subnet, private route table. Okay, that's it. Now you're going to go back to the instance. Now we'll create a private instance. Okay, launch instance, private instance. Keep it as it is Linux T3 micro. Select the key pair in network. Select your VPC. Now we need a private only, right? We're not going to enable here. Auto assign for public is disabled. Why? Because this is a private instance. Then go to SSH anywhere, it's fine. Add, take HTTP, select from here. Sorry. HTTP. Then select anywhere. Once you're done with that, simply launch the instance. Once you're done with that, go to your instances created. Click on the public one. Now you can see there are two instances. One is this and another is this. Click on the public instance, select connect. Once you're done with that, you're going to say connect. Okay, from here. EC2 instance directly connect. Once you do that, we're going to write sudo su for the root permissions. As you can see, we are in the root user now. After that, you're going to write vi file.pem. After that, you're going to go to your download section. You're going to open the key pair. Okay, in my case, it is QUE. Okay, this one. So I have already opened it. Opened with Notepad. You're going to select this. You're going to copy this. Once you're done with that, you're going to paste it here. Okay, after that you'll press escape key :WQ, enter. After that you're outside that file and then you're going to write ls to see if your file is created. We can see it is created. Now we are going to change the permission chmod 700 file.pem. Okay, so what are we doing? We are changing the permissions, read, write, and execute. Then after this, what are you going to do is you're going to go to your instance, click on the private instance because our today's session is all about private instance to access the internet. So you're going to click on this connect. Okay, now it says no public IP is assigned, instance is not in public. We don't need that as it is. We're just going to go to SSH client. We're going to copy this command, go to your CMD again and paste. But before you paste, you're going to change the name. What is the name we created above? It is file.pem, right? So make that changes and then click yes. This is how you can access the internet through private instance. You can repeat all the same steps which we used to do earlier. Okay, so I guess that's it for the tutorial. I hope you understood and see you in the next one. And yes, one thing to remember, in this private instance, it is only for outbound, meaning the private can access the internet, but the internet cannot access the private instance. All right, so remember this point. So which is why if you were to go and check that public IP, okay, so in this case, if you were to go and check using, accessing the through IP address, you click this, and we used to do, right, opening incognito mode and so on and so forth. This won't work here. Why? Because NAT only allows outbound access, right? A private can access the internet, but the internet cannot access, that's not possible to access your private instance. So to do this, you have another command known as curl localhost. We can try that as well. So what you do is you repeat the same statements as you used to do for installing the server. So update this -y. Okay. Sudo yum install. We are installing the server now. httpd -y. Once you do that, we're going to run those systemctl statements. Sudo systemctl start httpd sudo systemctl enable httpd sudo systemctl status httpd. Once you're done with this, we used to access, the file through sudo nano, right? Sudo nano slash var www dot, sorry, html slash index dot html. So this is how we used to paste our file, right? So if I say, so give me a responsive HTML, CSS code. All right, so let's copy this code and paste it here. To save this, Control O, enter Control X outside. Now, if you want to see that, well, previously what we used to do is we used to go and, click on copy this IP address and open it in incognito. But as I told you, in private VPC, only outbound is there. So the internet cannot access this. So you have this curl local host. So this statement you can access now whatever code we've pasted or whatever internet activities are going on, those will be reflected through this statement. So I hope this tutorial is clear, and if you have any questions, list them below and see you in the next one.